What's up, everybody? Man, I'm excited about today's episode, okay? Obviously, as you guys know, we just got done finishing the Last Dance series by the Chicago Bulls. And I'm from Chicago, so sorry, guys. But as I was watching the thing, what I want to talk about today is what the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan taught me about branding. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about, as I was watching it, I believe it was around season episode 5 or 4. I was watching it, and I was like, this is some great information that I feel like if businesses can articulate this, it'd be some great information. So, the first thing I want to talk about was, I believe in around episode 5, Michael Jordan, he was talking about how he never really, episode 4 or 5, how he never was trying to get into all the stuff after court, like the commercials and the cereal and McDonald's and all those branding things. All those things, he never was searching for them. The only thing that he did was focus on his craft. So I want you to think, he comes in as a rookie, killing a game, making moves, dunking on people, all that, right? What we call that? He was building his brand. And I want you to think about this as we talk about this story. Are you building your brand the way you want it to be built? So he came in playing hard, tough, difficult, right? And what happened is he ended up having that meeting with Nike. Now, this is an interesting thing. Nike projected that they would sell 1.5 million in the first year and about 4 million, 3 million in the fourth year. Do you know when these shoes dropped in 84, he sold over $150 million in the first year, and now the company is valued at over $1 billion. But the reason I'm talking about this because I want to ask you a question. Are you building your brand strong enough that when your product or when your service unleashes the market, you sell out? So one thing I want you guys to think about is, are you building a sellable shoe? A sellable shoe. Are you building a sellable product? Are you building something that when you unleash a product, because remember, that shoe is the product. That brand is, I want to be like Mike. Is it the shoes? I believe that man can fly. That's what a great brand will do. A great brand can emotionally connect with people, and it allows people to want your product based on the brand that pushes the product. Think about this. It was the songs, I want to be like Mike. Is it the shoes? That man can fly. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, are you building your brand? So when you do unleash your product or service, people are going to want it because of what your brand stands for. Early on, Michael Jordan brand stood for excellence, drive, competition, all those things. What does your brand stand for as you're building? Because that's going to determine how it affects your product. So if you that chef and you building your brand on bad customer service, you can have the best food in the world. But if you don't got good service and your brand is built on bad service, some people may not even buy your product based on the brand that you're building. So that's something to think about. So the first thing I thought about watching the Bulls series is, one, how are you building your brand? And are you building it in a way that emotionally connects to people? Which goes into my next point. 2, shareable story. When you think about the Bulls, I want you guys to think about, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it the championships? Is it the rings? Is it the fact that they went 6-0? Is it the hunger? Is it the drive? Is it, think about those things. When all these people was watching this championship team, they realized, Bulls, championship, Bulls, great dynasty, Bulls, excellence. What do people say about your brand? When you think about this, when it's all said and done, what they did with this Last Dance is create a shareable story. I want you guys to remember that, a shareable story. We was meeting with Facebook the other week, And that's one thing they started to talk about. And I was thinking about it watching the Bulls document series. Michael Jordan by himself and then the Chicago Bulls as a unit, they have shareable stories. Now we all know when we think about the Bulls, we think about the 90 championship, the first championship when he had 6 feet, or the championship when he lost, then he came back, went 72-10. Is your story shareable? Are you creating a story that's shareable to people? So when somebody say Black People Eats, they say, oh, that's a company, they're very optimistic, they show you great food around places that you can eat. You know, are you creating a story that's shareable, that your followers, that your community can communicate to other people? Because if you are not creating a shareable story, your story won't be told. And if your story is not being told, your business is not being advertised. And if your brand is not being advertised, then guess what? You don't stay in business. So I want you to think about this. How are you presenting your story? Are you not even talking about your story? Is it the fact that my grandmother gave me this recipe, has been in the family for over 80 years, and now I'm carrying that recipe out? Or are you talking about your personal story? You know, I struggled, I did this, I went through this, I came from this, I experienced this, and because of that, boom, our business exploded. So that's just something to think about. So 1, how are you building your brand? 2, shareable story. Are you creating a story that people can share? Are you creating a story that people emotionally grab to? Because emotional connections build high value relationships, which enable people to connect to your product. Because people connect to the brand before they connect to the product. They connect to the brand before they connect to the product. So I want you to ask yourself, are you building a Michael Jordan mentality brand? I mean, this man was in practice and people know that he will push them. Leadership had a cost, all those things. What are you building? What brand are you building in your culture? What brand are you building in your business? What brand are you building in your restaurant? Because it is important to have a great established brand. Because if you try to push, imagine if Michael Jordan was trying to sell these and he was a crappy player. It's a pretty dope shoe. It don't matter how good the brand. It don't matter how good the plate. It don't matter how good that dinner. It don't matter how good that fried chicken. If you are not presenting people a great brand, you will not last. You will not last. So what I want you guys to think about is, yes, it's good to focus on the product. The product must be tight. But think about your brand. Because your brand is what will connect people. So remember, guys, build up a brand that's going to be great and established, where you don't focus on product, but you focus on adding value to your community, and you focus on what people will know you as. And by doing that, by focusing on your brand, you eventually will be able to unleash a product and or service. And guess what? By doing that and keeping your brand tight, you create a shareable story. So guys, I hope you guys are inspired. What I want you guys to do, I want you to write down this. What brand am I building right now? And then after that, ask yourself, is this the brand that I want represented? Because it's never too late to change. And then after that, ask yourself this third question. Am I sharing and creating a tellable, memorable story? All right, guys, thank you. I hope this information is great for you. Hit that like and subscribe button. Share if you found some great information. Share with all your friends. Because remember, none of us is greater than all of us. Remember that, guys. I want all of us to be in this together. I want to see all of you guys grow your brands and your businesses and your restaurants. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Jeremy Joyce of Black People East, and see you guys on the next episode.